Hi, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for hosting this and for inviting me. I have a question regarding the music for the composers, Ian Hultquist and Drum and Lace, and the music supervisor, Devo Yates. My question is regarding the type of music that's been used in Dickinson. I really love the way the music is used. It brings us into contemporary times. And it was just like so witty to do that, because the show was set in the 19th century and bringing in the type of music that it does, like some of it is like hip hop, very contemporary sounding. And I was wondering regarding the music choices, how did you come to that idea of using contemporary music on a show with a setting in the 19th century?
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for the question. There was an initial idea from the very beginning that they wanted it to be a juxtaposition of having a contemporary sound with a period looking show. But I think the trick was exactly figuring out how to implement that. Because, at one point, I think someone was suggesting having like classical instruments but playing hip hop, or some people were saying like it should be like an all rap score. And I think the trick for us was really just finding like that fine medium. And I think we kind of ended up a little bit more like electro pop sounding with a little bit of hip hop influence here and there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it was derived honestly from the work that Devo had done, with music supervision. And I think that just knowing the choices and that him and Elena, the showrunner, had kind of decided upon, informed our kind of sound as well. So we knew within what boundaries we kind of could work sonically. And I think from there, otherwise we wanted to create something that, as you said, sounded contemporary and fresh, but also had nods to kind of like bigger artists, or just something that sounded familiar.
I think ultimately what we tried to do was make our score fit in between the songs without feeling like we've departed from that too much, so we could all stay in the same world and vibe for the whole season.
And we were definitely given a lot of room to experiment, which has been really fun. I don't know if Devo wants to chime in and say anything else, but
yeah, I guess to talk further about that, I think before we started shooting the pilot, that was kind of her concept, was having current music with the period setting. So just to kind of bring everything into more I guess relevant to current times, so it was easier to kind of like get yourself in that world, I think.
I just really love the music choices. I mean, it just brings everything to life and just makes it honestly just so cool and very contemporary. So congratulations, good job with that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My question is about hair for Suzy Mazzarese-Allison. I would like to know how you came to decide on giving such contemporary hairstyles to the young actors in the show. Like the music that's in the show, the show is based in the 19th century, but yet there are hints of modern elements in it, like the music and the hair. So the young actors in the show have extremely stylish hairstyles that are very complementary. And I was wondering how you came to decide on hair.
Well, again, we start with the period. We always start with the period because it is that century. And then in each individual actor, I kind of just softened things up a little bit to make it a little bit more contemporary, to have a contemporary feeling. But for the most part, we stuck with pretty much period and then softened it up and to enhance their look a little bit more, whatever was right for the character. We had a lot of buns. And in episode 2, we actually did Sue's hair up much more fancy because of her character change. And the men, basically, we kept pretty period as well, but it kind of looked hip. We made it a little bit hip, that period with that big low side part. Lots of curling irons were used to make the flips happen. And the longer hair was definitely part of the period, kind of hipped it up a little bit. So yeah, with a lot of collaboration from everybody, it all went together very well, I think.
I really like the hair in the show, and
Thank you.
I just think it's very hip.
Yeah, period and hip, kind of with the costume and everything, to get all the makeup, and of course everybody else's work on the show was beautiful. So yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I wanted to talk about the music again. You know, Haley Steinfeld, like she's a singer and musician herself. I was wondering, do you do any collaboration with her, or, you know, do you work together at all for the music in the show?
You at the end of season 1, she did the final song at the end of episode 10. So we worked with her on that. And she did have like a song she sang to Ben for a season, kind of live on set. I don't want to give much away about season 3, but maybe there'll be another collaboration.
But I feel like we haven't had a chance of interacting with
We've
Haley.
actually never met Haley.
But we know that she, you know, is an integral part in a lot of the pieces of everything. So we know that there's been times that we got a note. I remember first season that Haley didn't like something.
It's when
and we were terrified.
It's when she sings to Ben in, I can't remember which episode, when Ben's sick.
Yeah.
And she sang that song, and we actually tried putting a little bit of music underneath.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, take that out.
Yeah, that didn't fly. She's so talented, and I feel like hopefully there will be able to be a part for that. Wink, wink.
Great, thank you.